except we're in Savannah. Let me. I am on the scene. This is your pilot, Sean Cove, from TWD Airlines, Flight 856. I'm speaking with Ground Control, Payday Jones, reporting live to you from the Pulaski Monument in Savannah. And I can't see your face, but I don't care. I think the delay is wild long. There you go. Yeah, the delay is wild long. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going, but now I kind of see your face. Right behind me, fittingly, is a Polish war hero, Casimir Pulaski's war monument. He was killed during the Revolutionary War trying to save the country or something like that. This is true, and that's that is what you assume. Today I learned all about it at the Wormslow Historic Society. That we were heavy down there in Georgia, fighting off the Spaniards and whatnot during the Revolution. The Georgia was the last frontier, before Florida, which was a Spanish stronghold during that particular time. So there's quite a bit of history down here. This being Polish superstar, he was kind of a superstar of the Revolutionary War, Vladimir Pulaski or whatever his name is. Let me get myself situated here, because now I'm turning into an official Southern gentleman, which means on a Friday night I toast the end of a Monte Cristo and smoke a cigar with my drink. So that's kind of how we're getting. You know what I mean? I don't often smoke cigars, but I figure it's a very Southern gentleman kind of thing to do. So yeah. Oh no, I'm talking, baby. We finally got ourselves situated. Yeah, we finally got ourselves situated here after quite a bit of technical, working out the instruments, but we got it, kinda. You know, we don't we don't miss. One thing we don't. When Friday night comes, we're here without a doubt. So the first thing on my agenda is, I assume, being that you are in the studio and not reapplying siding to your house or reshingling your roof, that you made it through, you weathered the storm. Did you see the footage of Mullica Hill? Oh, wow. What happened with your in law's house? It sure enough tore some shit up. This is odd, dude, because I think this is the second, like, for 33 years of my life, New Jersey never saw tornadoes, right? And now 2 years in a row we've had. I mean, this one is devastating, like terrible. Do you have any science on that? Yeah, I saw the pictures of the Vine Street Expressway, which the Philadelphia Canal. Uh, yeah, it's it's kind of funny. I assume that nobody died in that incident. Otherwise, maybe we wouldn't be making so much fun of it. Those guys probably caught yellow fever. You you go swimming in the because you not only are you swimming in the Schuylkill, but you're swimming in the Delaware too. So there's diseases in there that haven't been around since the fucking Liberty Bell cracked. And oh yeah, yeah. Listen, if it wasn't yellow fever, it was probably scarlet fever. Yellow fever which actually wiped out half of Savannah, Georgia, uh, back in the 1800s. That might be true. Um, so what do I got? You got my so check this one out, right? For some reason, this is my second trip in the past 12 months below the Mason Dixon, right? La- yeah, last year I went to New Orleans and great time. This down here, phenomenal time. I'm having a ball. This is way more um architecturally and visually pleasing than New Orleans. New Orleans is a little bit sketch. This is like a very clean, more ornate version of New Orleans. Like just fuck yeah. That was Wormslow National Historic Site. Mm, it's pristine. Let me give you just a quick spin around here. Let me see if I can get this here. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a little. They got these little squares all over the city. Every few blocks is a little park and just a little square. They're just these pristine, green, beautiful parks, and each of them has a church. Uh, that's not the church. That is just a palm tree and some beautiful housing. But each of them has these gargantuan churches. Let me step over here and see if you can see it. Adorning the squares, right? It's a little dark, but you can kind of see it's like a Spanish style church, just glorious, bro. Just glorious. It's quite the sight to behold. And I think yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if it has to do with it burning down, or maybe that it's just. I think, like you said, that it's just a smaller city, and it's I mean, it's. They say it's a little bit of a party town. I don't see it. Not like New Orleans, at least. Like New Orleans is a wild party town. This is definitely more family friendly, and I think that it shows in the cleanliness of the city. River Street. They have River Street, sits on the river. You see the bridge. I don't know if across the river is South Carolina or not. Honestly, I'm not, but we're right here by South Carolina. It's not far, but they they hang out on River Street and drink. And it is a city where they let you walk around with a cup filled with whatever you want. Yeah, open carry, open liquor carry state. I think it, I think what it does is that it brings more tourism. Uh, so like in this case, I think that this would be I think it probably would be strikingly beautiful still, but there may be like there would be a smaller tourism industry if this wasn't if you couldn't walk around with liquor because like look you'll see here in a second there's a bunch of there's probably 30 people maybe 40 on a walking tour about to pass by and half of them got cups in their hands because you could walk around drinking. So I think that it brings an element of people who want to party will come and they'll be able to walk around drinking. uh well, I'm not a huge. I drink on Friday nights during the gig. I'm known to throw a couple back, but other than that, I don't really do too much drinking. However, I have. Today I was walking around with a beverage because I could, because me and Sadie were walking around. We are riding the ferry on the river. So it's a nice. It's just nice. It's nice to have the option. Yeah, for vacation, it's great. Tybee Island, same thing. Like you can drink, you drink on the beach, no ifs ands or buts about it. You just can't have a glass bottle, which I find that's like super. I think that's phenomenal. Because Jersey, we're not allowed to drink at the beach, are we? Yeah, there you have your can in your hand, no problems, no qualms about it. Um, which brings me to Tybee Island like Jersey Shore. Listen, I like Jersey Shore just fine. It's all right. I like the shore for the ambiance inside of the town. Like I like walking around. I like seeing the hustle and bustle of Sea Isle or whatever. Being able to walk and kind of having a city feel, but having it be nice. I like the shore for that. I don't like sitting on the beach. The girls always get mad at me because I never have interest in going to the beach. We came down here. I said, look, we'll go fucking check the beach out. It's a new beach. Why not? Now, I loved Tybee Island. And the main reason is that in Jersey, even when it's 95 degrees out, that water is 72, right? It's always cold. So if it's 95, 100 degrees out, it's not bad. Like it'll cool you off, whatever. But to me, it's not comfortable to like really get in there and jump through waves and go boogie boarding and all that shit. Down here, the water was 82 degrees. You couldn't get me out of the water, bro. I was a sea turtle for 2 days in a row, just fucking splashing amongst the waves. I went and bought a skimboard. So now my new venture is I'm working my way into the professional skimboarding circuit. Uh, I guess I'm going to have to be a two sport kind of guy now. I'm going to be the Bo Jackson of extreme sports, basically. I'm going to be the Deion Sanders of the X Games. Like, uh, yeah, I don't think that I like skimboarding just as much as BMX because it beats me up maybe a little bit more than BMX does. I took so many spills, my back's all scraped up. I worked up a nice tan. But I'll tell you what, bro, when you get a good skim, you throw that bitch, bro, and land on it just right and get that good skim into the wave. It's quite the feeling, bro. It's like walking on water. It's like gliding across water. I wish I could. I wish I could. If I could be skimboarding right now, I probably would be. Yeah, I bought a skimboard. I bought a cheapo one, right? I think next season I'm gonna have to upgrade and get like a real professional, hundred something dollar skimboard. This joint cost me $30. It was fucking worth every penny. I'll tell you that much. I think next season, yeah, next season I'm getting a pro joint. But I was out there looking like a pro. I was waxing my board and everything, bro. in Savannah. I also listen to this. So I meet a dude. Guy looks like a fucking thorough white dude. You know what I mean? He's tatted up from head to toe. He's got his Vans that match his Vans hat, white T-shirt on. He's out there with his son in the park playing in the splash pad. And Sadie had been looking for the splash pad to be turned on for 2 days. So 2 days go by. Finally, the splash pad's on. I'm like, oh, baby, look, it's on. Let's go walk over there and get to splashing. So she's splashing around. The kid's running around. The kid, he's like 3, right? He comes over. He's talking to me, and I'm talking to this 3-year-old. We're having a great conversation. His dad wanders over, tatted up, thorough white dude, right? He's like, "Hey, man, what's up?" I'm like, not much. Just, getting in the water, whatever. He was like, "Where are you from? You ain't from here." I said, "Nah." Right. I said, "Nah, I'm not from here." He said, "Where are you from?" I said, Jersey." He said, "Yeah, you look like you're from Jersey." I said, I'm thinking to myself, what gave it away? The Jersey bread tattoo blazed across my chest, or was it something else? I don't know. you know? So I said to him, I was like, well, what does it look like from Jersey? He said, well, you kind of got like a mix of white style and black style. I said, my friend, that's what we call a thorough white dude, which basically just means we're a bunch of knucklehead wiggers as teenagers. But yes, this is a very Jersey thing to be, sir. Yeah. And so I was actually very proud that I am representing well enough that people pick me out and say, like, that looks like New Jersey, without a doubt. Yeah. So also, back to what I was trying to say about my 2 trips south over the past 12 months. This cigar is good, bro. This Monte Cristo, like, I'm surprised that I was just buying it to smoke it to fucking smoke a cigar to be cool and shit. But I can't say I'm not enjoying it. I'm leaving, I think, tonight. I think we're driving overnight. Steph said she wants to drive overnight. So if she wants to drive, I'll let her. Labor Day weekend. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as I got to report live on the scene for the gig, I'm happy now. Like, we could roll. Hmm. I want to tell you about something on the list. So, the South, right? They're lovely people. Well, I'll tell you a couple things about them, right? The first is that I feel I've never felt like the asshole, the aggressive asshole that I am, more than being in fucking Savannah, Georgia. Like, I have conversations with people. You know me, bro. I'm out here in the streets talking to anybody who will talk to me, right? And they're friendly, so a lot of people will talk to me. But I find that in conversation, right, I'm like stepping on top of their words, right? Like, they'll take so long to start a sentence that I'm like, oh, well, I guess I need another sentence in here. Like, I'll say something looking for a response. It takes so long to get it that I'm like, all right, I guess I got to add something else in here. Their pace is like, they really do slow the pace down here. So it winds up having me feel like I'm an asshole who's like stepping on everything they're saying and not listening to them. It's either that they slow the pace or that they're more interested in listening than in speaking. I'm not really sure how true that holds, but it seems that way. So that's a thing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't figure out how to drive down here, bro. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I just can't figure it out. Like there will be situations where I know that the person who's like I'm looking at, like they're supposed to muscle their way in front of me. So I'm expecting them to do that, and then they don't move, and then I'm like, "Well, are you letting me go, or am I supposed to let you go? Like, what the fuck's going on here?" I need a, yeah, I need some fucking aggression in my life so that I know how to function. Without it down here, yeah, I need to be I need some aggression so I can do my defensive driving. I'm naturally a defensive driver, so I need yeah, so now I'm all fucked up trying to figure it out and I can't. And the driving down here has been a fucking an atrocity trying to figure out how these people drive. I don't know, but it's fine. They're scared to drive in the snow. Yeah. Why did he wind up in Colombia as a Jersey boy? He is a Jersey boy, correct? Hmm. Yeah. So I could also I they tell me that there's not really any cold down here. I guess it's like a subtropical climate, and they get maybe he said they get like 2 nights of cold where it's really cold, and then the rest of it's good. Which it looks like it's subtropical all the time with all this Spanish moss and palm trees. And I said me and Sadie were out trying to catch lizards today. So so there's not as many as in Florida or even as in New Orleans. New Orleans had a lot more. But we saw a good handful today out there in Wormslow historic site. 5, 6. Apparently, also armadillos live out there. Yeah, no, I was really looking hard to see a armadillo in the wild. That would have made my whole trip. If I could have, yeah, if I could have seen an armadillo in the wild or a sea turtle, would have made the whole trip. Yeah, it would have been great. Um, but other than the driving and the aggressive talking, there's another thing that goes on down here in the South, which doesn't like for whatever reason, and I thought this was just New Orleans, but then I found out it's also Savannah as well, which is chicory coffee. Yeah, but they also do it out here in Savannah, right? So I'm thinking like I go to sip it, right? And I all immediately have a flashback because there's only one place in New Jersey that serves you chicory coffee, which is the DOC, the Department of Corrections, is the only place in Jersey you get chicory coffee. So the waitress thought it was odd when I grabbed a spoon and started sharpening it on the floor after I took a sip of coffee. She looked like it's not the yeah the coffee ain't that strong. What the fuck's this guy doing? I started stuffing sugar in my pockets to make hooch back at the Airbnb. That was it. I just turned back into a fucking DOC inmate. I don't understand the chicory coffee, bro. This shit, I, I don't get it. Do you like it? Oh, did you really? Did I did I mention to you about chicory coffee? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. What did you get? What kind of chicory coffee did you get? Yeah, that's where I had it at there down in New Orleans, and I figured that was the only place that sold it. Like I thought that was like a French influence thing or whatever. But hmm that's a perfect fucking thing for the shelf. Good pick. Good pick. So that happened. There is a lot of ghosts. They say this is the most haunted city in America. You know how much me and you believe in ghosts. But I will give you this. He did point out a few things, a few odd happenings that maybe have some scientific explanation, but I don't know it, right? Like we were in a square like this with like a tall phallic looking structure in the middle, and they said maybe James Oglethorpe was buried there, or Abercorn. One of these like revolutionary settlers was buried because uh, the city is a lot of um, a lot of graveyards were buried over. Like they just buried straight on. They just built straight on top of graveyards for whatever reason. I'm sure he told me, but I don't really quite remember. So one of these revolutionary settlers is buried in the middle of a square. And when you walk into that square, right around the large phallic structure in the center, um, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a cool breeze circulates around it. And it doesn't seem like a, it doesn't seem set up for that. You know what I mean? Like the way that things are around it, it doesn't seem like that's a normal thing. Or that you would be like, oh yeah, it makes sense because the wind would come from this way or whatever. And then if you look up, there's no wind in the trees. So it's just this odd, like circular wind around the structure. So that was a little bit weird. But again, there may be some scientific explanation for it that I don't know. Also, there is a cemetery that we walked by, and when you walk by the cemetery, at next to the gate, the temperature drops a good 5 or 10 degrees. Like, and you feel, yeah, you feel that it gets colder. So I still don't believe in ghosts. Hmm, probably about seven blocks away. It's not. It's not particularly close to water. Yeah, but that's the thing is that you're walking along. It's hot, hot, hot. You hit the cemetery. It cools down. You pass the cemetery. It's hot, hot, hot again. 7 blocks away. No, like with the water at my back, hot, 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 cemetery, then hot again after the cemetery. So whatever. I mean, like I said, there's probably some scientific explanation, but they definitely had some good stories. At one point, so there was this. Savannah has always been an Airbnb type of city, right? Even in the 1700s. Before Airbnb, they were just B&B. And the fuck, what is it called? The Thompson house, the Owens house, of some kind of name like that, was a bed and breakfast, and a lady who owns it um winds up killing a traveling merchant, buries him in the wall. Nobody knows anything about it, right? 10, 50 years ago or something, mid 1900s, they go to renovate, and a fucking 100-year-old skeleton falls out of the wall on them. Yeah, no, like they dig bodies up here too. Yeah. No, this place has that kind of, it has the feel of a place where like high society hid their dirt. You know, like New Orleans just straight up feels like hijinks and fucking kerfluffery, right? This Savannah feels like in the 1700s it was high society, but they did some foul shit on the low, and a whole lot of foul shit on the low out here. So so that was that. Um, we got oh, I went to the Prohibition Museum, and the propaganda used during Prohibition is eerily similar to the things that we're hearing today. This, like, with the news and the fear mongering that happens. It was like the same shit that they were doing at that point, and I just kind of found it interesting that this is a situation that has been being played out for now hundreds of 100 years or better, where there's these newspaper stories and headlines that will strike fear into you, and even though they're kind of padded, right? Like they're giving you the headline that's scary, and it may not be 100% truth. So now this is a thing that's been happening since Prohibition and probably before, although I only know Prohibition because this is what I saw, and yet still the public is fucking falling for this fucking trick that no, it's just, yeah, like, listen, and like with Prohibition, right? As it turns out, the um Prohibition was not the right thing to do, right? Didn't it? It made more problems for us. It made more problems for us than help, right? But we were trying to scare the masses into believing something that nobody knew whether it was true or not. It was just that the government decided a thing, and they said, "Hey, here, let's scare you into this." And you could take it on either side of today's arguments, right? One side thinks they're right with this, and another side thinks they're right with that, and it's trying to scare the public into something that we don't know what the long-term effects of many things that we're trying to be forced into believing. Right. Facts in line if we're going to go too much deeper into that. I just saw a striking resemblance to the way that we're being addressed by our government today as the government was addressing the population when prohibition you know, was in motion. Yeah, and I think that's, as I always will state, this is the problem, is that we're picking sides, and it's we're turning into the wet versus the dries of the 1920s. And I don't think that it's going to turn out good for anybody. It's proving to not turn out good thus far. I think Jesus is putting his wrath on us, which is why we've had 4 tornadoes in New Jersey this year. The fucking Armageddon is upon us. You know what I mean? And I think it said actually in Corinthians 6:43, Jesus is going to fuck y'all up. I think that was a Bible verse. That's I think it's the Bible. Bro, you know me. You know me, bro. You know how deep my Bible study goes. Um yeah, hey, I'm out here sinning, bro. You know what I mean? Sinning and spinning my wheels and sinning for real. Yeah, I think at one point Savannah probably was a nice city of sin. Hmm. Well, here's the thing also. Let me tell you this. Ships coming from China, Mother China, sending all her goods over here, go through the Panama Canal, and then drop everything in Savannah, at which point Savannah then sends it out into all these other ports. So it's a big import export city. I've seen nonstop. There's barges coming down. I don't know if it's the Savannah River. I didn't catch what river it's called, but whatever this river is, there's barges nonstop just coming in, flooding it. And these things are fucking huge. Also, the fact that they're as big as they are, right? They got to be a half a mile long, maybe a quarter mile long, but they're fucking huge. It's ridiculous. And they don't make a wake, which I don't understand. I can't comprehend how it happens. The size of these ships is unreal, and the wake that they have coming off of it is almost non-existent. Have you ever seen that? It'd be huge. Yeah, bro. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, damn, I lost him. He was that quick. No, it was a, a fucking cockroach. The cockroaches down here, bro, are fucking huge. Like 2, 3 inch. Yeah, 2, 3 inches long, and they're fast. I just turned around for a half a second. He was gone. He was huge. What do we got on my list over there, Jack? Oh, dude, let me tell you something, bro. I respect it though. Honestly, I fully respect it. I show up at White Glove time and time again to get. Yeah, yeah. And right off the rip, like the salesman, I don't know if they train these dudes, but they are some of the best salesmen that I've seen because they're like, it's always like a cool older black dude, like just the epitome of cool. You know what I mean? Like these dudes, just solid dudes, got an air of like super confidence about them. And they're always breaking my balls about treating my truck like a work truck. They're like, you can't treat it like a work truck. I'm like, cuz it is a work truck. I'm treating this work truck. Yeah, I'm cleaning it. I'm treating this work truck way nicer than any fucking work truck gets treated. Okay, so get off my balls because they're always trying to sell me a package, right? They're always trying to sell me like the 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 car wash package, and yeah, and a lot of times I let them do like this the fucking light detail because they do a great job when they do, right? So every once in a while I let them do it, but what I thought the other day is like, if I was a more mild mannered or meek gentleman, like that, I'd be nervous, right? Like a dude this confident, this like they look tough too. Like these dudes look like they did some time, right? So a dude would, yeah, like, and they come at you with a little bit of aggression, like, bro, I'm telling you, you just need to get, like, why are you treating a truck like that? Look, I'm gonna tell you what, you just give me $45. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna send it. We're gonna do this, that, and the third. We're gonna get all cleaned up. You'll be happy with it, right? And if I didn't have the heart that I have, right, I might be liable to be like, all right, man, I guess so. Just take, yeah, just do it. I guess, whatever. You're not gonna fuck me up, are you? Like, so so what I'm thinking is, I need to play more into my ex-convictness when going to sell jobs, right? Like start muscling housewives into believing that they need a full kitchen remodel, even though it got done 2 years ago. Of tree guys? Yeah. Well, see, that's the problem is that I'm usually more expensive than most contractors, right? I'm the guy who I'm the guy who upcharges because I hate doing this shit so much that you got to pay me to fucking do it because I don't want to do it. But I think what I need to do is like when they call like these little jobs that sometimes somebody will come at me with that I just ignore, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna take care of that. It's just, yeah, I can't charge you fairly for it or whatever. Right. So what I got to do is get in there and just start muscling them into believing that they need an addition built. Like they're going to be like, "Hey, we need you to reattach this gutter on the front of the house." Get in there and just, you know what I mean, come in maybe a wife beater after I got like a pump from the gym, let my fucking jail tats hang out. Maybe put like a fake scar on the side of my face or something. Like, look, here's the situation. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of you. We're gonna put the gutter up, but we're also gonna start immediately on building an addition out back. It's only an extra 12,000. It's gonna raise the value of your house. You just sit back, relax. Here's a look. I'm gonna grab your checkbook for you. I'll fill it out. You just gotta sign it. Right. Exactly. So I'm gonna take a page out of White Glove's book. Yeah, I mean they just got a fat they got a fat settlement from their fucking ex-husband. Yeah. We'll fucking push them right into something they don't need. Hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna take a page out of White Glove's book. What do we got next on the charts? Oh, that's a long story. That's a long story. That was from last week. Yeah, I saved that one. Okay, so check this out, right? Have you heard of Delta 8? Blake Blake told us all about it. He's a good man. Yeah, allegedly Delta 8 is a federally legal cannabis product. So it's kind of like from my understanding, it's like psychoactive CBD. Like it's legal and it's psychoactive. It's THC, maybe, or maybe they're calling it Delta 8 and it's not THC, but whatever. It has psychoactive properties. So I so Blake allegedly gave me a whole bunch of Delta 8 edibles, which on vacation I fucking bring a couple edibles with me. You never know. I may or may not take them. I waited. I didn't take them because what I was worried about is I was gonna take it and get fucking too stony, and then like basically throw away a night or throw the day away or whatever. And I took one last night. We went on a little horse and carriage ride around town, and I ate like 5 milligrams of fucking Delta 8 edibles, and they were not very strong, right? Like 5 milligrams was actually probably perfect because right now if I ate 5 milligrams of a fucking screw tape edible, I'd have been stony, right? But they were like just enough that they definitely give you a buzz, but they don't get you all fucked up where you start thinking weird and I start analyzing my life and wondering why I held the door for a man and silly shit like that. So if you are a part-time user like myself who uses edibles twice a year, if that, Delta 88, yeah, Delta 8 may actually fucking change that. Like I'd be more willing to, after taking it and only getting like a super light buzz, I'll be more willing to fucking take Delta 8 again because I know that it's not gonna have me all fucking tripped out. Exactly. So I'm more apt to maybe take it at night to like chill and watch a movie or fucking fall asleep and shit like that. No, but you know what I'm saying though. Like if I don't work out or something like that. I haven't worked out all week. Well, I mean, I've skimboarded and I've rode my bike, but I haven't done any lifting all week. Yeah, but I don't count that. You know, I don't count steps, bro. We don't do that. We don't count steps. Yeah, no, I ain't know if that. Um, But the reason that I like am shaky about edibles is because I've had some fucking interesting situations. Like, and I may or may not have told these on the podcast, but I'm going to tell them anyway. First, let me see this real quick. Hold on, handcuff with me. All right, cool. Um, so I had a toothache one day, and it was like just fucking white hot tooth pain in my grill, and it was to the point where I fucking called Screw and I told him I was like, look, cuz I'm literally thinking about I will take a fucking Oxycontin right now. Like it's that bad. Like I will chance all my work over the past few years just to get rid of this fucking pain for the night until I can get to the dentist. Like and if I had an oxy in front of me or access to him at that point, I probably would have. It was that bad. So I'm talking to Screw about it because he's a guy I go to with these kind of issues sometimes. He go, yeah, he goes, look, I got some medicated mouthwash. Just stop through and I'll let you use it. It'll help clear you up. It may not take it away, but it'll help you out a little bit. It's worth a try at this point. So I'm like, yeah, anything was worth a try, right? So I'm thinking he's got like like fucking Orajel mouthwash or something, which I did later find Orajel mouthwash, and that shit is actually very good if you have any kind of tooth pain. It helps clear you up until you get to the dentist. It's probably, yeah, it was honestly, it's not, nothing's going to take the tooth pain away, but that was the best solution to make it from, tooth pain to dentist. So just keep that in mind if you ever have tooth pain. So I slide over looking for this Orajel mouthwash, And he's like, oh yeah, come on, and walks to his fridge. And I'm like, this fucking guy's keeping mouthwash in his fridge, and he pulls out a. I wasn't really thinking. I think the pain was so intense that there was no thinking happening. So he goes to the fridge and pulls out a mason jar, this fucking big, with green goop in it, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, it's medicated coconut oil mouthwash. And I'm like, dude, I thought you meant like Oragel medicated or like, Neosporin medicated or something like that, right? Bro, I just didn't think it, right? But now I'm there, right? And I'm like, well, fuck it, dude. I'll try anything at this point. So he gives me, so this is like the coconut oil, like, hey, we make weed brownies with this butter type of fucking coconut oil. I'm like, all right, give me some. So he gives me like a fucking tablespoonful. He's like, here, let it melt in your mouth and just swoosh it around in there. Yeah, so I'm fucking swooshing it back and forth, and I'm like, I'm not gonna spit it out like a Fruit Loop. So I swallow it, right? And and I'm like, after I swallow it, then I ask him, I'm like, was that like a lot, you think, or you think I'm good? So he's like, nah, you'll be all right. You know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I do. Even if it is a lot, like I'll just go home and fucking sleep it off. So I go home and it winds up being like, I don't know, fucking 1 in the morning. I haven't fallen asleep yet because I just keep getting increasingly higher and higher and higher. This must have been 200 milligrams or something like that. Like just something ridiculous for me to take. Like I said, 5 milligrams of Delta 88 is right about where I'm at. This was 200 milligrams of like fucking pure THC edible. Yeah. Oh, I'm going out here. Let me spark up my fucking Southern gentleman here. My gentleman's finger. I think I might start smoking cigars now. I don't know. Oh, I inhaled that one. Let me ask you a question. You think Steph's gonna let me smoke cigars in the studio? Yeah, no, absolutely not. I wouldn't want to anyway. I wouldn't want the house to smell like that. So now I can't fucking I can't sleep because I'm getting increasingly higher and higher. About 1:30 in the morning, I'm trying to just like watch TV and at least relax, which I'm doing a great job of relaxing, and the pain has definitely subsided a substantial amount. But at about 1:30 in the morning while I'm watching TV, I start hearing myself inside of my head. But also, while I'm inside of my head on the couch, I'm also talking out loud to myself from the kitchen, which, yeah, I'm in yeah, I'm talking to myself from three different angles and two different places. I was so high, bro. I've never been that high since or before that, I think. Like, and when I realized I was talking to myself from like, and I had the thought like, holy shit, I'm talking to myself from the other room. I lost it in the giggles for a good hour off of that one. And I wasn't like, I didn't trip out off of it, right? Like I understand the idea that like this is all just, you're just on drugs. Like this will pass. Like it feels crazy and you think that shit's going, yeah, but it's gonna go away. Like you're gonna fall asleep at some point. Now, my wife doesn't necessarily have that same ability because, yeah, she hasn't done as many drugs as I have. So one day, yeah, so one day, this is like, it was like Labor Day or fucking Memorial Day or some shit. We're at my sister's house for a barbecue, and my sister's, like my brother-in-law and his whole side of the family and shit, they're all smokers. It's widely accepted over there. And so there's, they're smoking in the basement or in the shed and shit like that at family parties. Edibles are being passed around. They had these brownies covered in like some kind of weed icing or something. Or no, they were Oreos with weed icing covering them. So they were like probably pretty wildly strong. So I ate a piece of one. Yeah, they're going around though. So I ate a piece of one. My sister ate a little bit. I think my mom even had some, right? We even convinced my mom to take a nibble. And so at that point, everybody's like half stoned and they're all trying to talk Steph into eating some. They're like, what's the big deal? Like, just have a little bite. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you're good. Look, fucking Karen's eating some. My mom, right? Karen had a piece. Like, come on. And Steph is, yeah, she's steadfast in her denial. Nope, I don't want to do it. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. However, after a good 3 hours of peer pressure, she starts to loosen up, and I can see she's starting to think about it now, right? Because everybody's having a good time. So we wind up leaving without her eating any, but we get home and she's like, "Do you still have those little gummies that are like not so strong? Like maybe I could just try a piece of one of those." I'm like, "Sure, babe." Yeah, they were like 5 milligram gummies. So I rip off the head and give it to her, which is like maybe 1.5 or 2 milligrams. She takes it. Ooh, this get the fucking cockroach about to crawl on the phone. These motherfuckers are everywhere, bro. Nah, he's gone now. He saw him. He walked up on the phone, looked at me, and then turned around and skated. So I give her like no more than 2 milligrams, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "Babe, I don't feel so good." I'm like, "You're fine. Just relax. Like nothing's wrong. We're in our house. Like everything's fine. You're good. It's beautiful." And she's like, "No, I don't think you understand. I'm gonna die." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you are gonna die at some point. That's true, but it's not gonna be tonight, and it's not gonna be off of this fucking edible." She was like, "No, no, I think that you probably have to call an ambulance for me." So I'm like, "Babe, I promise you, the fact that you're talking to me right now means that I don't have to call an ambulance for you. You're just a little bit high, and you're not even very high. You're just a touch high." But she couldn't she could not calm herself down to like be like, "All right, it's just the fucking edibles," and I'm like tripping out a little bit. I had to, right. Yeah, you got to cut that first thought off and and redirect, right? You need to just hit it with the redirect, like, "Oh, I'm fucking stoned," and that's not true. But I wound up, I had to throw her in a cold shower and like just sit her there and let the water hit her back, and I'm like, "You're good." And then I had to like basically like rub her back and put her to sleep because she just lost it. She tripped out. The whole next 3 days, she's asking me questions like, "Is this real? Are we here right now?" Like she had this like it was like she ate like a fucking half ounce of shrooms or something and had this intergalactic experience where now she's questioning humanity and the fucking reality of her everyday life. Look, here he is. Look, here he is right here. Let me show you this fucker. Yeah. Can we see him? Hold on. Can I zoom? Yeah. You see the size? Can you see him? Yeah. He's about half the size of a banana, this son of a bitch. It's a big son. Yeah, so I'll never ever again be able to get my wife to enjoy marijuana with me because of that. But I can't even get her to eat CBD. She won't even eat CBD because she's scared of what will happen, like because that shit fucking happened to her before. But yeah, so that's that. I was gonna say maybe I'll get her to eat Delta 88 one day, but that's a absolute farcity. There's no way. No, I don't even want to. I've thought that, but also then I have to deal with everything that comes behind it. It won't turn out good. It's not going to turn out good at all. So, what do you think I should do with this fucking cigar? Just put it back in this tube and throw it away, maybe? Yeah. So listen, I'm going to hang with me for a half a block here, and then we'll wrap it up. Because on the back side of this fucking block over here, about a block and a half down, is another glorious church that's all lit up. And when the devil goes down to Georgia, he likes to show off churches. So I'm gonna do that. I've been listening to all Georgia things. AT Aliens was released like 28 years ago today, I think. Is that what it was? Did you see that, or did I make that number up? Yeah, that'll be 25 years. I don't know why I thought 28. I'll tell you what. I was listening to AT Aliens, um, maybe yesterday or the day before, and it perfectly coincides with driving around Savannah, Georgia, because you got like the swampiness, right? And they got those kind of real swampy beats, if you will, right? So you're in the swamp with the Spanish moss and the fucking palm trees and the willows. And if you listen to AT Aliens while driving around in Savannah, Georgia, and listening to it, like it's a beautiful match. Yeah, and it opened up interest in certain tracks that I didn't really ever listen to previously. Yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense now by seeing the surroundings. All right, check this out. I'm a big fan of Aquemini. Look at this fucker, dude. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. There's these Jones. They got ones of these on every square. They're so dope, dude. Well, you got to have the church because there's so many ghosts down here. Yeah, I got the let's see if I can get them on camera behind me here. I got the boys. The boys are there. You see them? See them behind me? I don't do anything to antagonize them at this point in my life. I'm a law-abiding citizen, my friend. Allegedly. Allegedly. So, you got anything you want to touch on?